Hey friends, good morning and welcome to Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard for some more Edmonton Oilers news as training camp continues to progress along. Quite honestly, in a long while, this is the least interesting, least exciting I have felt about training camp, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. That means we got one dang good team to cover, though there were some cuts from Oilers camp yesterday. There is an update on Evander Kane and kind of the timeline there, so we'll get to that in a matter of moments. But if you're new to the channel, friends, I want you to consider hitting that subscribe button simply because, buckle up, we've got a long season ahead of us and it's going to be a good time. To those of you that have recently done that or have been doing that for a long while, thank you so much here on Dolynny TV for staying aboard and hanging around. As you can tell, it's an early morning edition if you're used to the weekend episodes. All right, and let's get to it, though. I can sit here and kind of take my time to wake up as I talk to you. Yesterday's cuts for the Oilers, all juniors players. The Oilers have returned goaltender Nathaniel Day, forward Connor Clattenburg to the Flint Firebirds, forward William Nickel to the London Knights, and forward Dalen Wakely to the OHL Battalion. So those guys will all go and try and dominate the junior scene this year for the Edmonton Oilers in the OHL as they look forward to trying to crack the Bakersfield Condors next season. I think a couple of those guys can still play junior next year, but for the Oilers, the biggest thing is, of course, getting those guys through a full junior season, not interrupting too much of the start because of being at Oilers camp, and of course allowing the junior clubs to kind of get started right away. One notable missing from the London Knights on that list would be Sam O'Reilly, who has continued to impress at Oilers camp, but I would expect he gets maybe one more game and then he's up and done at this point. So we'll see what happens for him this fall. Not summer anymore, fall. All right, let's go to the Evander Kane timeline. I've been told New Year, don't exactly know when, but at this point in time, they're not expecting them to be out for the entire regular season. All you LTIR stashers, it looks like it's not going to happen in this particular case. That from Evander Kane update, that being from Elliot Friedman. See, I can't even get my updates correct. That's my apology. We'll battle through, though. Basically, with Evander Kane at this point, with, of course, the LTIR, I know the timeline correctly for healing is sometime late January, sometime February. That's at least the initial timeline we were given. That's kind of what we're operating on. And the LTIR, is finding a way to keep them on there until April when the games get only harder and harder as the calendar flips into February, March. I think you would love to have a fully healthy, fully ready to go Evander Kane sometime around the trade deadline, because similar to a couple of years back, that would be one heck of an addition to this Edmonton Oilers roster that desperately needs that element of recklessness, that element of crash and bang, that element of just pure toughness that Evander Kane brings. And I don't even know if it's toughness. I think it's intimidation actually would be a better word for it, for what Evander Kane brings to the Edmonton Oilers lineup. So the only other point worth touching on at this point is we've, of course, got a Winnipeg Jets game at 5:30 tonight. These preseason games being in the building, and, of course, start times not allowing for much live streaming yet, but we'll see what happens as the training camp continues to progress. Tonight I got to drive out to Olds and get something done up there, and then of course go from there and kind of get home in due time. So I'll be listening to the radio broadcast on 6:30 Ched while we still got it before it flips to 880. For that, friends, enjoy tonight's game. We'll talk to you in a little bit after it, and we'll go from there. Thanks for being aboard. I'm up on out of here.